What's up? What's up? Look at my freaking. This is my desk, I guess. This is the clip I have to do. This is my chair. This is my office, but simple office and a simple job by a simple guy. It is about Painkiller, which is a documentary that Netflix released about the 10th of August, 2023. It is a documentary on the how the Oxycontin, which is an opioid, entered the market, how it was sold, how it was such a big problem, why it was such a big problem, what was the intention behind creating the problem, what was the repercussion. There was so many documentaries, so many newsletters, not newsletter per se, but news. It was, of course, it's acted. The problem when you act a documentary is you're gonna have a documentary and you expect it to be true, right? And then and every single before episode, they'll tell you, see, super close. They'll tell you, okay, well, this is a reenactment, this is dramatized. So you're like, okay, well, what happened for real? What didn't happen, right? However, we're super lucky because this show in itself is amazing. So I heard of Oxycontin, right? I understand that it's a huge problem. It's a big deal problem because it's an opioid, which is super, super addictive. In most cases were simple pain, then they became an addiction, right? But I never had an addiction, so I can't relate on that. However, I can relate on people being misinformed because that's a big deal. They were misinforming people. They were misinforming. Some doctors didn't care. They just want cash. Some doctors thought they was doing the right thing. In their shoulders a doctor that's like, oh fuck, I'm seeing there's a problem. We're creating a problem, man. Am I responsible for this? Am I a problem for this exact case? And the girl, which is the seller, she's like, no. We don't have we don't create victims. They create themselves, right? So it was all a big deal. There was some seller, really big seller, defended that the whole story started by a company that needed cash, and one of the guy who had no moral. You can see, I don't want to spoil too much, but you can see that the guy was kind of in charge. He was like, yo, we're gonna create this problem. I don't care, I want cash. And that was a big problem. You can see, I like the fact that there's three. There's the reporter that's like, okay, well, I'm gonna investigate. I'm gonna check which doctor did what. And the fact that there is a normal guy like you and I who becomes addicted, and the fact that there is a seller, and the seller, she says, wow, I'm doing something wrong. To me, it's all the story of a couple people taking advantage of the young, not the young, but the uninformed, taking advantage of people that didn't know better, taking advantage of people that didn't have the education or the cell plastic. It was just taking advantage of people in pain. And when you're in pain, you want to release. It's normal. Pain is not a pleasant emotion. It's not especially constant pain. So people that had Valium, and Valium, although it was a painkiller, also wasn't as addictive as Oxycontin. So in this documentary, we see the rise, we see the family that created, we see the victim. We have a very good understanding. I like the fact that they show that it was like a snowball effect. Like, for example, the crime rate upgraded. The documentary in itself, I mean, 9 episodes, again, is amazing. Shout out to Crazy Eyes from Orange and the New Black. She plays an amazing character there. It is a really good story. Probably one of my favorite documentary this year on Netflix. I'm gonna say last year also. Super good, definitely recommended. It's gonna be Painkiller. It's on Netflix. As always, I love you guys. Peace. The saddest part about the documentary is it clearly shows one thing. Like, a lot of medication, they had good intent when they started, and we had the side effect, and they had a good intention, but with Oxycontin, they didn't have that good effect. The simple fact that the guy said there's a circle of pain and pleasure, and we're going to escape pain to go to pleasure, right? That just show how crooked they were, and I find it super sad because Vicodin, or I think Vicodin, right? It's probably a super good medicine, but it got Oxycontin, so yeah. Like, for example, when you do crack and you get the sleep medicine, sleep medicine isn't a dangerous drug. Crack is.